Alright, today is 11/5/25. Um, Today was a good day and also a bad day. I would say it was pretty good. I followed my rules with not taking something like stupid, so I'd say it's a good day from that, where I didn't take any trades on the combine. I kind of just took practice trades, but my initial bias, was bullish from, if we go on the daily, I saw that we came down here into these daily gaps, and there were also these 4-hour gaps, this one right here, and there's another small one like right down here, really small, and then we had this one as the last. If we, I think I also marked it out like this too with the, yeah, I think I did, I don't know. That was really close though. Anyways, so my initial bias was bullish because on the 1 hour we came down and we made this Asia low, and then we rejected off of that area, and we came up and we clearly accumulated on the 1 hour, and I saw this move down, saw this manipulation. Usually when Asia expands and London accumulates, New York will come back into Asia just like this and then distribute up. So that was another thing that kind of helped my bias. We also had this 1 hour BPR, and we stayed inside of that, respecting it. Obviously I wasn't up at 6 a.m. to be able to do this, so the only thing I had to wait for was this 1 hour gap right here. This is the only thing I could wait for. And actually, just get rid of this for now. And if we go on the 5-minute, I waited for that, and I just didn't get an entry. I was thinking about, just because it's just kind of dumb to kind of do this, but I was going to set like a limit order, just because if we go on the 1 minute, I was pretty confident with price going down to that. I had something marked out, I think like this, where it kind of lined up with these lows. But also, where's it at? Yeah, if we go to 9:30 right here, I don't know, it just lines up really well in those areas. But there was no entry. We had these 1 minutes right here. Price manipulates down into this, and we got this 1 minute right here, but this isn't really something I take. I usually wait for like a pullback to a BPR as an inverse, or like a clear CISD, or just an actual gap. I ended up, there was a 30-second actually. Are we serious right now? There was a 30-second right here. I saw this where I made this like 30-second CISD, and I had a limit order set on this right here, and I just took it away. I don't know why I took it away. I honestly don't know why. I think the reason why was because we ended up going to this internal high and doing this, and then not even taking this liquidity. I mean, I don't know. For some reason, I kind of thought that in the moment that price would go further down, just because we have some stuff over here, I think, which we didn't. We didn't have anything, so I don't know why I did that, but I would have gotten a really clean entry. Done it on an XFA, it would have been, holy crap, 368 points. This was my main draw on liquidity right here, this 4-hour high. But anyways, pretty much the practice, I ended up just waiting. I think the one thing I struggled with most today was finding the London leg for what I usually do. And usually it's kind of hard, because we had this leg right here that took out this London low, and usually that's what I'd go to target, but it just felt too long. And I finally decided on the 15-minute time frame being the cleanest, so where I had this one marked out and this one marked out, but I didn't even mark it out until I finally was confident enough that this was the top. So this is what I came up with. I wish I marked this out earlier, saying that this -4 was literally the full range being on my draw on liquidity. So I mean, but the main things I look for with the London leg is making sure that each level gets reacted off of, and also that they line up. So like these ones right here, these kind of line up, and we had a little reaction, small reaction right there, and so on. Yeah, but I ended up just taking like a few continuation trades on the practice. I actually ended the day off green. Wait, am I profitable? Ooh. I don't know. It would be a lot more if I wasn't taking dumb trades, but I was just trying random stuff. But anyways, at the top right here, I was in class. I didn't have ES open. For some reason, I've been having gold open at the same time. And I don't even know why I did, because gold was absolutely like terrible today. Like if I go here, like this is just so buns. Like, what is going on? Okay, are we serious? Alright, I had an order set right here, and I got stopped out because it was 410. It was a sell order to go through all this. And look what it's doing right now. Bruh, it's 2K right there. Anyways, back to NQ. I took another practice trade, being this really clean. This was probably the cleanest setup that I saw all day with like reversals. So we had the SMT where ES took this 4-hour high. We had these levels lining up right here. This -4 being pretty much the best one, honestly. Lining up right there, and obviously ES took that. But what made this really good was we had somewhat of a range right here from this high and this low down here, where NQ was just chopping back and forth like this. And then finally, I kind of wanted to see an AMD setup, mainly. Seeing this high get taken, and realistically, I wanted to see this high get taken, but the SMT, obviously with that, this move right here, this candle, the best candle I've seen today. So whenever this hit, it moved really fast up and then closed down. So we got a 1-minute rejection block, and then we ended up getting a 5-minute rejection block. And then later on, we also ended up getting a 1 hour. And if we go to 5-minute or 1 minute, I mark this out, liquidity swept. Mark this out. If we do this, 72.5. We got really close to that 0.79, but the golden zone is usually what I look for anyway. And we ended up, after I saw this, where we had this move up into this on the 30-second, I wanted to enter. The thing is, though, is that we never retraced back up to here, and I saw that we kept going, and once we took the slow, I was like, okay, it's not coming back up to there. There's no way. So the next best thing, also the highest time frame, was this right here, this 1 minute. So what I wanted to happen here was we had this volume imbalance, and I wanted this to leave a gap still, to have a clean inverse, but it didn't. It left, this would technically be the gap right here with this volume imbalance and the small gap right there. So I marked that out, also set a limit on my combine, and I set it right here at the very start of this gap at 6625. And look what this candle does. Look at the high, 6625. I doubt I would have even gotten filled, but it's whatever. But that ended up doing that, and it ended up running all the way down. So that's great. It's awesome. But I mean, I'm not mad or sad. I'm just glad that it worked out. So the main things with this was a 1 minute and a 1 hour rejection block. I don't think there was, yeah, there was no 15. There was no 30. There was no. There was a 3 minute, but it didn't line up with anything else. And yeah, so it was pretty much just the 1-5 and 1 hour. Even though the 1 hour didn't line up, obviously the 1 hour is just higher time frame, higher probability. That's pretty much what I saw. Like that was a really good trade. I just wish that I was not hesitant. 2 times. 2 times. It happens every single time. It happens every single time. Not only with this right here, but with this. And it pisses me off. But those were the trades. Practice, whatever. What I would have taken if I wasn't a dumbass. And yeah. For tomorrow, if we go on the daily, just want to see this. Man. We're definitely, if we don't do it overnight, I think we're definitely going up to this daily gap right here. 100%. I'll just mark that out for now. Actually, no, I won't. I'll do it tomorrow. Also, I noticed on the daily that we had this devil wick right here. And these are really just, we go over this, we see the high is 104.50 and the open is 104.50. So, devil wick candle, that's a pretty good target. I don't know if that'll be hit tomorrow or not, but I think it'll definitely be. This is also previous day high too, so I think this will definitely be a good target. I'm kind of curious going up when we get into this gap. I'm curious whether we're just going to go to all-time highs or if we're going to reject from it and come down to here and maybe here and here and here. But I mean, I don't think we should, but there's definitely a chance. So hopefully tomorrow I can actually make a good trade. Like, this was really obvious. Longs were really obvious. And on gold, I just want to say gold was pretty obvious with shorts at where I was at. So I mean, even though market open was like this, even though we came down like that, I was still I wanted shorts for gold because we were inside a 4-hour rejection block the entire time. I think we're still inside of it. We haven't even closed above it. And then we were inside this 4-hour gap too. So I mean, I wanted to see something off of this 4-hour rejection block, and I wanted to see these 4-hour gaps get hit. That's what I wanted to see. Right? But we ended up not even doing that. We ended up just chopping pretty much to the side the entire day. We ended up doing this and this. I finally saw the one thing I took right here was that stop because of the time was this right here. We had this range from this high, and pretty much you could be this low right here, or this low, or this low. On the 15-minute, it's pretty much this one, or it could be this. But I saw clear accumulation, especially on the 15-minute, and I wanted to see price come up through these equal highs right here, sweep out internal liquidity, and then have that as our fake manipulation, and then come down as the real manipulation. But we ended up just going higher, and because of that I saw that as our real manipulation, and I ended up taking that. But we ended up just chopping, and I honestly wasn't even looking at the time because we ended up closing right here. And yeah, my targets were these lows down here. I think I had 2 contracts. It was this one and then this one. So we'll see if this gets hit, but that's pretty much it. Hopefully I can learn more tomorrow or learn from my mistakes. So yeah.